Is Gecko Moria's Devil Fruit the most busted Devil Fruit in all of One Piece? Well, in the hands of somebody else, it might have been. But what makes this Devil Fruit so broken? Let's get into it. Spoiler alert up through Thriller Bark. If you haven't finished that yet, then scroll on. And very light spoiler alert for some stuff in the future, but we'll get to that in a second. Okay, so why is this fruit so busted? Let's go over what it can do specifically. As the name states, it gives you dominion over all shadows. So Moria can physically manifest his own shadow and use it to fight in his place. But he can also physically change the form of his shadows into a ton of bats or other things just to swarm you. And on top of all of that, he can swap places with his shadow at any point. So if his shadow is able to make it to a safer place than he physically is, he can just swap with them no problem. On top of that, these shadows cannot be destroyed. They simply reform after they've been taken down, which in that case is already so broken because you have to make it to the physical body and he's already made it so hard to get there. But that's just what he can do with his own shadow. As we saw all over Thriller Bark, he's able to take shadows and put them into corpses. And when that's done, the corpse's physical body retains the strength it had when it was alive. So if you have corpses of powerhouses like, let's say, the Rocks Pirates, they're going to be very strong pawns in your shadow army. But it doesn't stop there either. When you steal a shadow from somebody, that shadow retains the personality and fighting techniques of the original body. So if you were to take the shadow of somebody with a really high battle IQ and put them in the body of someone like Oars that's just super physically powerful, that could create an unstoppable force. Because again, once you put the shadow into a corpse, it's unable to die. It's a zombie. If you knock it down, it's just going to get right back up. The abilities don't stop there though. Once he takes your shadow, you go into a coma for about 2 days. You can no longer go out into the sunlight. No, you're not going to sparkle. You're just going to turn to ash like a regular vampire. Oh yeah, and you can't see yourself in the mirror either, but that doesn't really matter. The only real drawback here is the shadow is always connected to the body, so if you were to steal somebody's shadow, let's say in broad daylight, the moment you take that shadow, they can no longer exist in daylight, which means the body will die, which means you then lose the shadow as well. So you kind of need them to still be alive. But if all of this isn't enough, you can also take those shadows and put them into your own body, increasing your strength and your size. You can even take one person's shadow and put them into another living person. And that lasts for like 10 minutes. And that person gains the abilities of this person, or at least the fighting techniques. So let's just say you take Sanji's shadow and put it into Zoro while he's fighting. So for 10 minutes, Zoro also gets all the speed feats and the ability to kick like Sanji does. But he's still Zoro. How broken would that be? So yeah, the abilities of this fruit is absolutely busted. It's just all about the way you use it. And I think Moria is a prime example of just not using a broken ability to its fullest extent. This man had multiple Rocks Pirates on Thriller Bark. If God Valley and Thriller Bark are somehow combined, then that means that Gecko could have potentially had the ability to have Rox's body as well. And if you don't use a trump card like that, my boy, what are you doing? So yeah, if that's not a busted fruit, I don't know what is.